and developing this economy.
Order. I'm calling Mojo Mathis.
Mr Speaker, I rise to speak to the third reading of the Social Security Bill. Today is a sad day for me. It's a sad day because I know firsthand what it's like to experience economic hardship and to have to turn to the state for support. It's a sad day because this bill undermines core principles of social security that are essential to a fair and just society. It's a sad day because I know that this bill will cause stress, harm and suffering to some of the most vulnerable people in our society. Social security is the way that we collectively as a country agree to ensure that all of us have access to a safety net during hard times, whether that's because of economic recession, lack of accessible jobs, illness, disability, or caring for dependent family members. Mr Speaker, I strongly believe that social security must be based on respect for individual dignity and circumstances, provide economic security, protect children, and empower people to have some control over their lives. This bill does not do that. It instead imposes a patronising and punitive model where benefits are to be handed out to those deemed worthy and sanctions imposed on people who are deemed to be not complying with social obligations that the rest of us do not have to comply with. This model has been tried overseas in the UK, where it has caused significant harm and suffering, plunging people into a downward spiral and forcing them to steal food just to survive. It is a model that has failed there and will fail here. Mr Speaker, we need to remind ourselves that there are people who may never be able to access economic independence for many reasons, and that many people will need ongoing government support, not just to survive, but to have some quality of life so that they can contribute and participate in society. I fear that this bill will be a disaster for many, but most of all for those who have poor health, dependent family members, or who are mentally unwell. My biggest concern is for children, for forcing families into serious hardship will inevitably cause children harm with lifelong consequences. I would like to affirm the right of every parent to be able to determine what combination and level of family and friendly support, parent-led centres, playgroups, or early childhood education works best to meet their child's needs. The right to decide what is best for your child should not be taken away from you just because you're on a benefit. If it was really in every child's best interest to attend early childhood education for 15 hours a week from the age of 3, then government would make it mandatory for all children, not just those whose parents are receiving a benefit. The reason government doesn't do that is because it knows that actually many children thrive in a secure home-based environment for their early years, and depriving families of the right to choose this option for their child will cause harm. Above all, I would like to affirm the Green Party's support for a strong social security system that ensures that vulnerable people can access their economic rights and social well-being and make a positive contribution to society. Mr Speaker, this bill will not achieve that. Therefore, the Green Party opposes it.
Call Mike Sabin.
Mr Speaker.